A 5-foot-tall woman faces off against a 10-foot bear, the largest one ever documented. With only an old, worn-out rifle in her hands, she understands that her shot must be flawless. If she misses, the consequences could be deadly. As she raises her rifle, the bear catches her scent, turning to face her. Bella Twin, standing at a modest 5 feet, was a woman of remarkable strength. A member of the Cree Nation, she was deeply familiar with surviving in the wild. As an expert hunter and trapper, she had honed her skills from an early age, just like many others in her community. Her legendary encounter in 1953 took place in the remote wilderness near Alberta, Canada. At 63 years old, Bella had a lifetime of hunting experience. She knew every animal she tracked and trapped inside and out. Her father had taught her the precise technique to kill a bear with a single shot, how and where to aim. She'd learned this vital skill when she was just 13, and it would prove essential when she encountered the largest grizzly bear ever recorded 50 years later. On May 10, 1953, Bella and her companion, Dave Auger, were walking through the countryside near Alberta. They were making their way along an oil exploration cut line south of Slave Lake, hunting small game. Both of them were carrying firearms, but Bella's rifle was a sight to behold. It appeared old and unreliable, a .22 caliber single-shot Cooey Ace 1 rifle. The rifle was in rough shape. Its receiver was corroded, and the barrel was covered in rust, held together with hockey tape. The wood was worn, dull, and cracked, with screws missing. Anyone who picked it up would likely assume it no longer worked. It looked like an antique, but Bella was intimately familiar with her rifle. Despite its worn appearance, she trusted it completely. For decades, it had provided sustenance for her and her family. She never ventured into the wild without it. But now, she faced a new challenge. Would it be enough to protect her from a grizzly bear? She was about to find out. The sky above was overcast and gray, and a strong breeze rustled the leaves and branches. As Bella and Dave walked through the woods, Bella suddenly heard a sound. A twig snapping, followed by rustling in the underbrush. Turning quickly, she spotted a grizzly bear just yards away. The bear hadn't heard them nor smelled them due to the wind, and they had been lucky. Bella hissed to Dave, signaling for him to hide, but the bear lifted its snout, sniffing the air. It had detected them. The bear paused its foraging and began searching the area. Slowly, it followed the same path they had been walking, its head gently swaying from side to side, and its massive paws leaving deep impressions in the soft ground. Bella, hiding with Dave behind some bushes, peered through the foliage. The bear was massive, the biggest she had ever seen. There was a chance it might turn around, look away, and leave. But Bella wasn't willing to take that risk. She knew if it noticed them now, she would have mere seconds to react. She realized that they stood no chance against such a giant. So, without hesitation, she raised her rifle. Reports suggest she had it loaded with a .22 long cartridge. She took a deep breath, just as her father had taught her when she was a child. She remembered his advice. The best place to aim when killing a bear was halfway between the ear and eye if the animal was standing sideways. If it was facing directly, the target should be up the nose or the roof of the open mouth. Any deviation from these points, and the shot could fail to kill the bear, possibly injuring it. An injured bear, Bella knew, could be far more dangerous. She understood the importance of her shot. Just then, the bear saw them. Startled, it stood upright on its hind legs, displaying its enormous size and power. Some accounts suggest the bear lunged at Dave, and Bella's timely shot saved him. Other reports say she shot the bear before it advanced. Regardless, she fired. In an instant, the bear collapsed to the ground, lifeless, just a few feet from them. One shot had taken down the mighty creature. Bella reloaded her rifle, stepped out from behind the bushes, and aimed at the bear once more. She fired into its skull. There was no reaction. it remained still. Bella reloaded and fired again, and again, 7 times in total, ensuring that the massive beast was truly dead, not just stunned. Bella knew well the dangers of leaving an injured animal behind. Bella's remarkable shot quickly became a sensation, spreading far and wide. She gained attention and was hailed as a local hero, admired for her bravery and skill. Before long, people were eager to see the enormous bear that had fallen to her. Some grizzly hunters, those who devoted their lives to tracking and hunting the biggest bears, spending extensive time in the wild, were understandably frustrated to hear about the small woman's successful shot. However, Bella didn't boast about her accomplishment. For her, it was not about pride, but necessity. Despite the bear's immense size and impressive presence, Bella remained practical. Rather than keeping the bear's skin and skull as trophies, she sold them. She sold the bear's hide and rifle to a museum, while a collector purchased the skull. The money she earned from these sales would provide for her family and go much further than keeping the bear's remains. Before parting with the skin, Bella posed for a photo in front of it. In the picture, she is seated side-on to the camera, the massive bear skin towering behind her. She subtly hides her gun, likely ashamed of its worn-out, taped-up appearance. Bear size is often measured by the skull, and Bella's bear had an impressive one. Its skull measured 16.5 inches long and nearly 10 inches wide, earning a total score of 26.5 inches. This made the bear the largest one ever recorded at the time. Bella held this record for just 1 year before a commercial fisherman in British Columbia killed an even larger grizzly in 1954. Although the exact weight of the bear Bella hunted is unknown, some estimates suggest it weighed around 1,000 pounds and stood 10 feet tall when on its hind legs. How Bella and Dave managed to transport the giant bear back to their village remains a mystery. It's unfortunate that such a magnificent creature met its end at the hands of a human, but when confronted by one of the most feared predators on land, it's often better to prioritize safety. Bella's remarkable story lives on through her grandson, Larry Loy, who immortalized her in the book As Long as the Rivers Flow. Over time, he felt that her incredible tale was being forgotten, and he made it his mission to preserve her legacy. Larry wanted the world to remember her astounding feat. Bella was an extraordinary woman and an expert survivalist, and her skills have been passed down through generations of her family. What do you think about this story? Share your thoughts and comments in the reactions, and be safe.